Hey fam, it's your girl, the one and the only Spicy, and I'm here today, of course, with another pick a card reading. I'm so blessed to be here. I hope you all are having just an amazing week. I hope that you are doing well, and I just want to thank you for clicking into this video and, of course, watching it, choosing a pile, participating, engaging to get the best messages as possible for your current situation or circumstance. So if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome. So the reading for today is just going to be a general energy update. I actually love doing these types of readings. I really used to read live every single week on Instagram, and I would always start off my readings with a general energy update. And I just kind of wanted to bring it back and just see what's going on. So with that being said, if you would like some more information about me, where you can find me, I'm very active on Instagram. I am working my butt off to access that community tab. Okay. When I access that community tab, I'll definitely make sure to be able to post more and just to be a lot much more engaged with you all. But thank you so much for anyone who has liked my videos, for anyone who has viewed them, commented, subscribed. I want to thank y'all so much because it's amazing. I love being able to put out these readings, step back, take care of some other things in life, and just to consistently get those notifications to see that y'all are really vibing with these readings. It's amazing because that's what they're here for. It's really to, give you some great advice to really look into your situation, see what's going on, and understanding that you can come out on the other side of anything. So yeah, y'all, go ahead and pause the video now if you need to. Look at the deck that you feel like is more attracted to you, or you can even choose by the crystal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the description box where I have the timestamps listed, and you just want to make sure that you click the time that is corresponding with the pile that you chose. So this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So yeah, I'm so excited for this reading. I hope that you all enjoy this, and I will catch you at your pile. All right, fam. If you chose pile number 1, which is the Modern Witch Tarot with the Rose Quartz Crystal, we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading. I'm going to start with what deck is this called? The Goddess deck. That's just what I'm going to call it. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Goddess deck just to bring out some initial messages. And then, of course, I'll follow up with the Tarot deck. And I have some other Oracle decks here as well. So I'm just going to be guided by Spirit. But y'all know I will talk a lot. I will talk a lot. So I'm just going to be guided by Spirit. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all having a blessed day. All right. So off the jump, I see that you all could be doing a lot of, just reminiscing on your past, reminiscing on like past energies. It could be things that went wrong in your life, things that went right in your life. But it seems like a lot of you all are getting more so into the spirit of healing, even into the spirit of, I want to say, even transformation. Maybe there were stories that you used to tell yourself about your past, and not to say that those stories were not true. Those stories could be very much accurate because it was your reality and it was what you experienced. But I just get the energy and vibe that you're looking at your past from a more evolved or more transformed or more empowered state. It's from a more empowered state. You're really allowing it's like doing like regression. And when you do regression, it does cause you to have to look back on the past. But it seems like you're more so in the spirit of wanting to wrap things up, as opposed to want to continue to keep perpetuating stories or things that have happened from your past. It could even be trauma, situations that didn't work out, circumstances that didn't work out, relationships that did not work out. But you're doing it more so from a more empowered and independent place. There may have even been stories that were told to you that were inaccurate. So now, because you're more evolved, you're coming from more of an empowered place, you're able to look back at things and say, oh, this is what happened. It's like a light bulb is going off, but it's only going off because you're giving yourself the chance to look back at these things. It's like a light bulb that's going off and it's like, oh, so this is what really happened, and it's probably changing your perception and how you see things. It's getting you unstuck in a sense. And getting unstuck is great because you're not so much so stubborn anymore or feeling like, no, this thing had to work out this way. Is giving you the opportunity to change, to be mutable, to adapt, to be flexible with yourself now, because you've understand places in your past and where maybe you were in a certain situation or a certain environment because you had to be, and maybe that environment was limiting or that relationship was limiting. You felt like you had to be there, whereas is now you're giving yourself the grace to really step outside of your past and to transform from your past, which is giving you the ability to just be a lot much more, flexible with your being, and understanding that you don't have to keep yourself stuck or be stubborn in the mind or feel like things had to work out in a particular way for you. It's really giving you a new beginning of hope, understanding that you don't have to stay where you were. You can make the most out of your future. You can make the most out of your present. So that's really nice energy. Just a lot of independent energy, new beginnings. So this could be a new beginning for you. This could be you freeing yourself from your past. But in order to free yourself from your past, I feel like you've had to revisit your past, but to revisit it with a new perspective, with a new mind. So I had a card that fell out on the ground. Yeah, so it could have been a relationship. It could have been a family structure. You and others, let me say. So you've probably had to, look back at things. Maybe there were points in time in your life where you were happy, and maybe it is that in your present life right now, you may not feel as happy. So you could be potentially looking back on the good times. And if that's the case, within you looking back on the good times, and let's say that you're not feeling your best right now, I feel like those good times and those memories are definitely nostalgic. I feel like it's bittersweet if you're not experiencing what you want to experience now, but also understanding back then you may have had, less responsibility. Back then you may have had, less to worry about. You know what I'm trying to say? So for a lot of you all, I feel like you could be looking back on your childhood. You could be looking back on your family. Maybe you've had to come to some harsh truths and realities about your childhood, despite the happiness that you thought you felt. Maybe there were a lot of things that were going on for you back then. And now within you being an adult, now within you being more of an evolved person, or even if you're still a young person, it's kind of inspiring you to maybe have to revisit those times where you might be going through circumstances and situations right now, but revisiting those times and seeing how light the energy was, taking it back to a time where things weren't so complicated. And maybe that's something that you're also doing that's helping you to evolve and to really start anew in life, understanding that you're more of an evolved place. This is a new opportunity for you to not only be mature, to not only not be naive, not saying that y'all was naive, what I'm trying to say, but maybe it's an opportunity for you to usher in the things that that you want in your life, but you're doing it from more of a transformed, evolved place. Okay, so this could have definitely been, sorry if you guys hear noise. I know maintenance is supposed to be coming in my apartment. It sounds like that could potentially be them coming here very soon. But it seems like this could have definitely been as far as with your new beginning. Let's look at your new beginning. Your new beginning is definitely going to be a lot much more fulfilling than maybe your past. So if you're not feeling so well right now, just understanding that, and if you are feeling well, regardless of where you are right now, just understanding that there's a new beginning that's open and that's available to you, one in which you will be able to flow, kind of just be more receptive, be more willing to do things that maybe you weren't willing to do before, being willing to go places that you weren't willing to go before. And I feel like all of this is to really aid you in just becoming a more evolved person within yourself. Maybe you've had to be masculine for a certain point in time in your life. Everything was on you, because I see there's an independent energy here. So maybe everything was on you. You've had to carry things on your own, whether that be within your home life, within your sense of independence, within some type of relationship. But it's also opening up your mind and giving you the freedom. I'm trying to say, it's like something within your spirit is giving you the freedom to be so much more, giving to not only yourself but to other people. So in a sense, you're able to look back on your past, you're able to resolve things, you're looking at the good in things from your past. You could be reminiscing on some memories, just true emotional fulfillment. Maybe a time in which you didn't really have to choose. Maybe there were just things that were being given to you. I'm trying to say, maybe there were traumas that were being given to you. But at the end of the day, it seems like this new energy that is is dwelling within you, that just wants to come out, is the feeling of you being able to be more flexible and adaptable. You being able to just reciprocate, to give, and then to also understand that things will that it will be received as well. It seems like a lot of y'all are being able to tap into both of those masculine and feminine energies, being grounded, but then also being action based, but then also giving yourself the opportunity to be emotional and to be be in your intuition and to be so much more receptive. So there's just a giving energy. It's like you're giving to yourself. I'm trying to say, that new beginning is you're being able to give more freely to yourself. You're being much more adaptable with yourself. You're not keeping yourself stuck. You're not keeping yourself stubborn. And all of this, of course, is going on within your mind. So you might have a new attitude. You might have a new outlook on life. You may be feeling more creative than usual. You might be feeling more sexy than usual. Okay. You feeling more sexy than usual. You might be in a position to where you don't mind, creating something and just putting it out there into the world, because who cares, so you're just getting more flexible with yourself, and you're putting yourself in a position to give yourself what you need, as opposed to staying in a confused or stuck energy, or maybe depending and relying on someone else. And it's not to say that, we all don't need to rely on someone else, but I feel like in your past, maybe you weren't really in a position to create a sense of independence for yourself. Maybe you were always depending on someone. Maybe it worked for a little bit, but as far as with now, is not working now. So you have to just, garner up your new sense of independence, and understand that when it comes to this, it's not only going to come to you, changing your habits and the things that you do, but also understanding that comes from changing your mind and being more willing to give yourself what it is that you need. Yeah. So with the tarot card, I can definitely say that, I guess this is taking it back to the message of, maybe things were going great for you at a certain point in time, and then it just wasn't. So it's just understanding that even though you were standing on some type of foundation and it seemed like there could have been love there, this could be a relationship as well, or just family, home life. Like, it seems like it could have just been love there. It's understanding that maybe that foundation wasn't the best foundation for you. And especially with you, getting into your Empress energy of just creation, of birth. And the Empress is just, of course, the card that signifies the divine feminine, and this is a very strong energy. It wasn't the type of foundation that could support who you are becoming now. So it really was up to you to have to create that foundation that you feel like you need to stand tall, to really stand on your own, because there's the independent energy. Yeah. Yeah, so as far as within your new beginnings, I feel like regardless of, what's going on with you, you may not be feeling your best or you may be feeling your best. It's just understanding that there's a new beginning and opportunity that's available to you. I really think it's going to come down to your faith level and what you believe. So what it is that you think about yourself, this is connected to your self-esteem and your confidence. Do you feel like you're good enough? Do you feel like you deserve this? And just to let you know that after a tough moment, after and what I kind of got was I just channel All Falls Down, like by Kanye West. Is like when things like all fall down, when things get to the bare bones, and when you have these scraps in your life, it's like, what are you going to do with those things? All you can do is pick up and rebuild in a new direction. So it's just understanding that through you looking at your past, looking at things that didn't work, things that did work, with you being left with the scraps, it's really up to you to really step into this energy and this feeling of belief, of understanding that you can that something new is available to you. It just comes down to how much do you want it. Some people might look at you and think that you're crazy for wanting to start something new, because now it seems like you're more in the energy of wanting to give to yourself, and it's whatever Lola wants. Lola gets. Okay, over here channeling Sarah Vaughn, like it's really whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. So what is it that you want? And understanding that you can pursue those things. It's available to you. That new beginning is available to you. It comes down to your ability to be adaptable, your ability to be flexible, to go with the flow of what is. Okay, maybe sometimes you thought that a relationship or a situation or a job was going to work out the way in which you wanted it to, but it just didn't. So how adaptable and flexible are you going to be with giving yourself what it is that you actually really want, reciprocating that energy within self? What is it that I want? And not being afraid to give yourself what you want, not being afraid to create what it is that you want, to show up how you want, to look how you want, to smell how you want. Yeah. So a lot of y'all, like I said, well, I don't know if I said this message, but one of the most important things that you're going to have to do with this new beginning is you're going to have to protect it. Okay. There could be people, trying to hold you back, or conflicting ideas in your head that could be potentially trying to hold you back. One of the most important things that you're going to have to do within your life is to protect your peace. Okay. It's not to say to always be on guard, to be knives out, ready to cut somebody. But what it's saying is that, just put your protection first. Put your protection first. Protect what it is that you're creating. When you're starting a new business, or let's say if you have a baby, like you actually have a baby, what are you going to do? You're going to be there for that baby. You're going to nurture that baby. You're going to coddle that baby. When the baby start crying, you're going to do something about it. You're going to want to cheer that baby up. You're going to want to feed that baby, give that baby what it needs. Okay. And that baby could be you. That baby could be you giving yourself what it is that you need. That baby could also be your business. A relationship. It seems like maintenance is coming. Yeah, it seems like maintenance is coming. All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video really quick, and I'll come back when they're done. All right, y'all. I'm back and they're done. When they knocked on the door, I was like, dang. But with that being said, I'm glad I took some notes just to get back on track. But for the most part, you're going to want to protect, your energy. You're going to want to protect your projects, just like that baby that you would protect, that actual physical baby or your own child. You're going to want to defend them. So do what you can. The advice that I'll say is do what you can to defend your creation, and to especially create the new life, defend the new life that you are creating. So this could be other people, their thoughts, their opinions, the other things that people want from you, or it could even be the conflicting thoughts and ideas that you have within your head. So it might be time for you to get on one accord with what it is that you want, what it is that you feel like you deserve. To come out of a state of, maybe it could have even been confusion. So that's why I'm saying to get on one accord with what it is that you want. Maybe you don't have a good understanding of what it is that you want, but also understanding that there's so much that is available to you, just as long as you decide to accept this new life and you decide to open yourself up to this new life. So Let's get something else. Now I'm going to move on to some oracle decks. So yeah, I would definitely say that especially as far as within the people that may not be feeling their best about themselves, or even if you feel like there are some shortcomings, just understanding that, you can always clean up and improve things as you move forward. Not to get too overwhelmed with maybe things that you have not accomplished, maybe ways in which you have not succeeded, things that you didn't really have a good ability to bring into your life, and maybe understanding that maybe those things weren't the best things for you. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe they weren't the best things for you. Maybe there are things that are better for you. Maybe there are things that you have to put yourself out there to create that is going to be the thing for you. So looking back at your past, understanding that maybe there were environments, choices, and decisions that you didn't have too much agency over, and understanding that within this new era of your life, you have the opportunity, you have the potential to be adaptable, to be flexible, to be a little more, mutable, to invite things into your life that maybe you didn't even know that you needed, but they were just things that you wanted, but you didn't even know that that was something that you needed. So I would definitely say not to get too hung up on things that did not work out, or maybe not feeling like you've accomplished your best, and understanding that within this Empress energy, it gives you a new start, like a rejuvenation, like a real transformation. It really gives you a new start to put yourself in an empowered position to invite the things into your life that you really want, because you have more control over that. You don't have control over your past. Your past happened. There could have been good times, there could have been bad times, but just understanding that the foundation that was built for you within your past was not the best for you. It was not strong enough to usher in this new person that you are, to usher in this new life that you are creating for yourself. So if you're ever feeling moments in time in which you could be hard on yourself, you may be feeling a little more pessimistic, understand that it's okay to take a step back. Okay, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel these things, but utilize that, the quiet time that you have, the meditation that you have, the meditation time that you have. Like, if you have any quiet time, just try to put yourself into a state of, stillness and peace. Maybe you have to spend some time alone for a second, because it gets to be too much. When you're transitioning into a new life, it's not easy. When you're changing yourself and the things that you used to do, and changing your habits and changing your actions and behaviors, is not easy. Part of you is gonna want to be focused back on the past, when you were a particular way, or maybe when things weren't as hard. But when we encounter tough times, all we can do is to be able to nurture ourselves within that transition. So that's why I'm getting a lot of the energy of, being able to express what your needs are, and being able to give yourself exactly what it is that you need. Maybe you were putting too much emphasis on a connection, on a certain person or a circumstance, a situation, a job, to give you what you needed. But you know how things are. Y'all know how life is. Like, things will be removed from your life to show you that, there is that you are all that you need. You are all that you need. You are capable of giving yourself what it is that you need. So let's get you some more. I want to get you these hip hop queens cards, so we can just get y'all some messages, see where spirit is asking you to step into, or what type of energy it's asking you to continue to, perpetuate through your current circumstance. I got 3 cards that came out, but I'm just going to take them one by one. Your passion. So we have passion with the individual that is depicted here on this card, with this individual. And regardless of what anybody can say about, this person, from what I've seen of her journey, from what I've seen, she really has stepped into the energy in which she just kind of does what she wants to do. She does what it is that she's passionate about. She, takes the time to think about her visuals. She takes the time to think about her songs. I'm sure she takes a while to write her lyrics because at a certain point in time, they were just really poetic and abstract and all of these things. But at the end of the day, that was still her passion. And she's actually got herself to the place of being able to really transform her life. And when you come to a place of transforming your life, it really puts you in the driver's seat. And not to say that the universe isn't, helping you, protecting you, guiding you. It's not to say that's not doing that, but it's also up to you to put yourself in that masculine energy of you're in the driver's seat, you're acting, you're getting things done. But because you can also understand what means the world to you, what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you need, what it is that you deserve, having the power to give that to yourself, it really ushers in this divine feminine energy of not only, like I said, the submission, the receptivity, the intuition, but it's not just for other people, it's for yourself. So let's see. Oh yeah, you guys are definitely gonna have to utilize this energy to really defend. Well, you guys are ladies, or if you consider yourself a they, it would definitely be very important for you to put your passion first and to utilize your passion and to use it, not to say as a weapon, but to use that thing, like use it as the driving force for why you do what you do. And nothing else matters because your passion comes first. And you might have to tell some people this. Well, this is what I'm doing because this is what I want. You might have to tell some people this. You might are telling people this, or you might have to tell yourself because there's such thing as, fear, which is very real. It's very real, but you might have to tell yourself that, in order for you to get to where you need to go, you need to dispel this fear. You need to feel the fear, but to not dwell in it and to still move past that fear and still act. And the more that you get yourself into the habit of doing it, the less that you'll second guess things, that you'll keep yourself stuck in places, that you'll keep yourself, stubborn, even in your mind and in the way in which your life is progressing, because it's like, no, I know what my passion is. I know why I'm doing this thing. I know what I want from this thing. So I have to kind of, go after that by any means. And then we have leadership. I never get this card. Like, I've actually never gotten these two cards. So we have leadership with the individual that is depicted on this card. And this is something you cannot deny about this young lady right here. Like, you can't deny it. So I really love, despite, the hardships that you could be facing, if you don't feel this right now, like if you don't feel this energy right now, I really want y'all to understand that you will become an unstoppable force. You will become so unstoppable. And both of these ladies have actually transformed their lives. They've transformed their lives so much that they don't even look the same. I'm trying to say they don't even look the same. They don't even have the same things. So just understanding that, if you put your passion first, if you could dwell on the past, think about the past, but also understand that, your past, it happened, but now you have the power to make and choose different. You have the power to make something different. You have the power to create something different. It's going to come from you giving to yourself. Then you'll be in a much better position to not only, of course, you're helping yourself, you're giving to yourself, but you're going to be transforming and changing so much that other people are also going to want to look up to you because they saw your journey and they saw where you came from. So if there's people that's trying to keep you back, like, just, you got to ignore those people like that. If there's thoughts that's trying to keep you back, you got to ignore those thoughts because your passion, what it is that you're doing, is going to lead you to being to a way better place than you could have ever imagined. So you definitely don't want to hold yourself back. You could feel those moments where you might feel like things aren't moving fast enough. You're not accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplishing. You don't have that wish fulfillment that you really, really want. But I would definitely say, make sure that just a side note, make sure that you try to not lean too much on substances. That could be drinking, alcohol, that could be any type of drugs. Make sure you don't really lean too hard on those substances because it could also affect your productivity as well as within your creative process. So I know a lot of creatives tend to be heavy into alcohol and drug use. and whatnot. So something you're going to want to do is make sure that you stay on top of your game as much as possible. You know, you can't tell somebody what to do. You want to have a drink, because sometimes we need that drink. You know, sometimes we need that to relax. But just understanding that there's always going to be a healthy balance to those things. You know, you already are dealing with a lot. You know, you're creating something new, you're looking forward to creating something new, and you have to defend and protect your energy at all costs. So you definitely don't want to engage in any types of behaviors that are going to take you further from where you need to go, because you're not as productive and being able to accomplish what you need. So here we have the Moonology cards. Adjustments are required. So I just think that this, taking it back to the energy of you being able to be more flexible, you know, to be more mutable, to understand that, you know, maybe things don't have to work out in the way in which you thought they had to work out, but that does not mean that it won't work out. Okay? That does not mean that it won't work out. So I had a couple different cards that came out, but I'm just going to reshuffle and just ask for one. And I think this one didn't want to go back. And we have meditate and contemplate. And it's very, it connects with this Four of Swords card right here. So you might have to put yourself in a place of peace for a second. But why are you doing so? To allow spirit to move, to allow the energy to move, to allow your mind to get unstuck. You know, sometimes we really have to, like when your muscles are cramping up, what you gotta do, you gotta stretch. You got to adjust those muscles. You got to get them more flexible, right? So oftentimes, you know, when people have headaches, it's like you got to relax. You know, you could be really subconsciously anxious about something. Your mind is ruminating on something. You got to relax. Okay. And when you're able to relax and not have yourself in such a stiff, stubborn, stuck type of feeling, it allows energy to move through your body. You know what I'm trying to say? So some of y'all could maybe focus on, you know, clearing out your chakras so that the energy is moving, you know, all throughout your body. You know, so y'all might have to get some Reiki or something, get some Reiki done, something just to help the energy flow a little better within your body is kind of what I'm getting. But yeah, y'all. I definitely hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it was beneficial to you. If you would like to catch up with me, definitely make sure you check me out on Instagram at Spicy Bee Soup. I actually am going to be doing a pop-up shop at the end of this month. If you would like that information, definitely make sure that you follow me on Instagram. And oh, sorry y'all, if you're in the Philly, Delaware, New Jersey area, I'll be in Lansdowne, PA, and I'll be doing readings, live readings. So yeah, if you're in this area, you watch me here, definitely make sure that you, like I said, follow me on Instagram and just wait for that information that I'll be dropping towards the end of this week. And come see me and get a reading done, okay? Come meet me in person. And my nails gonna be done too. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. I hope y'all enjoyed this reading, and I will see you the next time. All right, fam. If you chose pile number 2, which is the Stardust Tarot deck, this is actually a new tarot deck, and I'm so excited. I cleansed the energy, and I'm just so excited to use it. I'm so happy that I purchased it. I actually got it off of Etsy at Terra Soleil. It's called the Stardust Tarot deck. If you want to go ahead and go check it out, if you want to purchase that deck for yourself, it is there. And I used Klarna. So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the reading for today. This is a general energy update. Let's see what's going on with you. What spirit gotta say. Allowing spirit to speak through me to give you all the most positive, uplifting, progressive. But I be saying positive things, but I don't brush over things as well. So if I see something, I say something. You feel me? If I see something, I say something. So, okay, this is a great, amazing card to get out of the deck. This one wanted to fly out. Okay. You know what I just got in my head? Do you believe in life after love? Like, Do you believe in life after love? So I'm not sure if y'all like that song by Cher. When I was a child, that was a really big song. Like, I remember my aunt used to listen to that song back to back to back to back. Like, she just would keep listening to it. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got from y'all. Do you believe in life after love? But I don't know. That could be definitely significant. I'm going to keep it in my head. But with that being said, I feel like a lot of you right now are just, and it could be because of the weather too. It could be because of spring, transitioning into summer. I'm not sure which part of the world that you live in, but I'm in the East Coast. I'm in the Mid-Atlantic area, and it's spring, so things are nicer outside. It's more sunnier. It gets hot. It's still going back and forth. We in May, but I don't understand what's going on with the weather. But for the most part, it must be like a lot of you are feeling so much more warm. You're feeling so much more warm. I'm getting that, you've put your work in during the winter time, whatever it is that you could have been doing. It could have been you actively engaging in a particular relationship. It could have been you, with your parenting. It could be you with your job. If you're an entrepreneur, being self-employed, or just within your own healing process. It's like you've put the work in during the winter time. You've put your work in during the fall. And you maybe have not seen the results of the work and the hard efforts that you've been making. This could be something that was completely challenging. I wouldn't say disheartening or disappointing, but it could have been very challenging because you would have been doing so much, you would have been sowing so much, and you just didn't see the fruits of your harvest. Now, the energy, if you're not in this energy, something to look for, this will be something for you to look forward to, understanding that within you choosing this pile, this message is for you. But if you don't feel like it's for you, it's up to you. Okay, this is a channel of free will, of agency. But for the most part, it's like you all are feeling so much more assured within yourself. You're feeling so much more warm within yourself. A lot of you all could be focusing more so on your self-care. A lot of you all could just be focusing so much so on just finally get into a positive plateau where you're happy with yourself. And not only are you happy with yourself, you're warm with others. So your heart is warmed up. Okay, it's warm. You're not dealing with a cold heart right now. You're feeling so much more stable and empowered within yourself, and you're just at a point in which you want to share. You want to share that with other people. You're that person that's probably like, oh, you having a bad day? Regardless of if you're having a bad day, you will put your bad day to the side to cheer someone up and to be there for them, to give them some type of gem, to give them some type of nugget, something to help them get themselves together. You'll cheer somebody else up, regardless of if you feel pepped up yourself, okay? Regardless of if you're lit yourself, regardless of if you feel good within yourself. But I also feel like when you do great things for others, that warms you up as well. It gives yourself a type of validation that, I'm not actually cold-hearted. I'm not actually a bad person. Like, I'm actually a generous person. I'm actually someone who cares about other people. And it's not to say that you put other people over yourself, but I feel like when you do great things for other people, it reminds you of just how great you are because you had the ability to foster and generate that energy within yourself to even be able to give. Not to say that you have to give endlessly, I'm trying to say, not to say that you have to give endlessly to where you don't have nothing, but I'm saying, like, when you do great things for other people, it makes you feel good inside. And you don't do things just to get things back in return. You do things because it's your character. You do things because it's how you feel. You're doing those things based off of that. So I really feel like you all are finally getting to a place where you could be seeing the fruits of your labor. You were good to people, now people being good to you. Okay? You gave to people, now you're being given to. So receive it. Receive it. You don't have to say, well, like, oh, I don't deserve this, I'm just going to continue to keep giving endlessly to other people. No, you deserve everything positive, everything that's coming to you. Like, you deserve that because that's energy that you would have put out. So a lot of you all, I feel like in the season in which you were sowing, in which you were putting in the hard work, in that season, like I said, there could have been some disappointments and some challenges. You could have doubted yourself, or maybe had a faith or belief level that wasn't as high as maybe you perceived it to be. So maybe even subconsciously. I want you all to know that despite those things and how you felt about your situation, that isn't that you can also believe in things turning around for you. And that's what miracles are. You know, oftentimes miracles come at the last second. Like, it's like making the game winning shot at a basketball game at the last 3 seconds, but that was what was needed to win the game. You know what I'm trying to say? So understanding that, you know, put your work in. It's not like the universe is against you. It's not like things are against you. The universe is only wanting to work with you. I feel like it had to start first with with you. It had to start with you. It had to start with how you felt about yourself. It had to start with your self-esteem. It had to start with your self-love. And because you're so much more warmer, I feel like you're going to be really experiencing some miracles and your situation turning around in a different way in which you maybe never even expected. But I feel like it had to start with you. It had to start with you. And I'm just getting just empowerment, you know, I'm trying to say, and also stability. So I think that you could have been working on like a creative project, or I think that you could have been, you know, even if you're still working at a job, if you're not an entrepreneur, is, you know, putting the time in. If you're a parent, that's maybe spending more time with your kids, you know, mentoring your kids, stepping in for your kids, emotionally supporting your kids. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe you've had a problematic child and you've just been talking and talking and talking and telling them things and mentoring them, and you maybe never saw the change, but the change is definitely happening. That's really how lemons grow. It takes time. You growing anything, it takes time. So there was a season of sowing that you experienced, and I think that you're really about to come into the full harvest of what it is that you sowed. Yeah, so with the Three of Wands, it's just that's essentially going off of the message that I just said. It's like you're putting the work in and now you're seeing the return come back to you. So in whatever situation and circumstance that it could be, you know, if you're single and you're looking for a mate, maybe you decided like, well, let me focus on what I want. Let me focus on my self-care. Let me focus on getting sexy. Let me focus on putting myself out there, maybe going to events, maybe, you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like you doing all those things have given you some type of confidence, which is going to put you in the best place to attract somebody because of just how much you're glowing and just how much confidence and esteem and self-love that you have within yourself, really attracting someone that's more on that level of who you've created yourself to be, you know? So I just think that you all are more so even putting yourself into a state of patience. And I think that's when the miracle is going to come through, because you're more at rest with yourself. Instead of being disappointed that you were sowing and maybe things weren't essentially working out, the fact that it took so long, that your idea took so long to grow, it forced you to have that patience. You know, it forced you to have the patience to have to wait. And so that's why I just feel like it's just confirmed that whatever it is that you were working on, whatever it is that you wanted to see grow, that you wanted to see improve, that it's definitely possible, is going to happen. And oftentimes we might not think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm telling you, like, that thing be happening in the last second all the time. Like, it always happens at the last second, like in the clutch. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I've experienced this so many times during 2022, like, just with major things, it's always happened at the last second, you know. And that's just, I mean, it's tough to have to wait like that, but it's just understanding that that's just how it happens. That's just how it happens. So I think that you all, one of the things that have also contributed to you all just glowing, and let's just say your glow up, so you could be in the energy of the glow up right now, or if not, understanding that your glow up is definitely coming. It's definitely coming. It's within your ability to walk away and to move on from things. Okay, to move on from things. So I think when it comes down to you and your personal life, it's like you put your work in for things that I think you really, really, really want, and you expect to see that result as soon as possible. But yeah, it's coming in. It just doesn't. It requires that patience. But I also feel like when it comes to other things within your life, you have the potential to be able to move on and to move forward. So it could have been that you've had to move on from maybe having a cold heart, maybe not be feeling like you were in a position to give, given what it was that you had, maybe being selfish, maybe being stubborn, maybe wanting to keep things for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it reminds me of like a Four of Pentacles energy. Maybe you didn't feel like you had anything to give. That's kind of what I'm getting. And that could have been the energy that you would have been in. But understanding that when it comes down to things, and essentially even like money, so if you're having issues with finances, it's all about cycling that money. It's all about recycling things, like, so it could be that maybe at a certain point in time you felt like you had nothing to give, but when you do things, it's like you're gonna receive things as well. So understanding that you have to that's kind of how it works. It's like if you're stingy and you're selfish and you never want to give, how do you expect someone to give to you? How do you expect the universe to return things back to you because you're being stingy and you're being selfish with people? But if you give, it's kind of like you're recycling that energy. You're putting that energy out there just for it to come back to you. And I mean, people live life how they want to live life. But I'm just telling you, like, that's really the best way to approach and to go about it, especially with finances, with spending money. You got to spend the money. It's energy. The energy needs to go out there and it needs to come back. You don't understand. Maybe, you buying something from a store or buying something from a shop owner is going to then help them be able to pay their bills. So now they're able to recycle that money and to repurpose it for something new. And then let's say you end up winning a contest because that person who paid towards their bills, that company decided that they was going to run a contest, and then you randomly applied for that contest and then you won. It's like the money ended up coming full circle. I don't know how I even got there to that example, but I'm just saying, like, it's just about it recycling back and coming back full circle. So yeah, you definitely do have the ability to move on and to focus on things that are really important to your soul's growth and to your soul's purpose. That's where you're at. Okay. So let me get another card for some clarification. Okay. So a lot of you all, I really think it's important for you to really get into even more study and really understanding how the universe works. So you could be doing that as well. Just understanding how the universe works and becoming enamored with, just what it does and what it's doing. Find comfort and solace in how life can be so coincidental, or how life can be so mysterious. You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like if you do that, you'll be more open and welcoming to those miracles that are coming into your life, because those miracles aren't things that happen within our natural lens. It's not like, sometimes there's things that happen that we cannot naturally explain. So it's you just understanding that things are supernatural. So starting to, feel a sense of strength and a sense of comfort, really understanding that, like, some things just cannot be explained because it's supernatural, and being okay with that, welcoming that. It's not just about the mundane. It's not just about things that we can see with our five senses. There's so many higher faculties that we have that we can utilize to, like, upgrade and progress within our life. We can use our imagination. We can use our will. We can change our perception of things. We can utilize our memory. So there's different higher faculties that you can really tap into, so that you really understand, like, just how the universe is working, and specifically how the universe is working within your life. So it's within you becoming more enamored, within you becoming more one with the universe. So I don't know if that's going to require you to get into more study. If it's going to require you, the only way you're going to know is by studying, and by learning the knowledge that you need to learn, maybe through reading, through other YouTube videos, through teachers, through mentors, but then also through your own experience as well. No one has to tell me about how the universe works at this point in time in my life, because I've experienced it too many times to know that things really happen supernaturally. We cannot explain things all the time. And once you get into that, I feel like it's going to open you more. It's going to put your heart to rest when it comes to the idea of maybe things not happening when you would like them to happen, but things happening in due time, in due season. And oftentimes it syncs up when we need it the most. Oftentimes it syncs up when we need it the most. I had to say it the second time because I'm not playing with y'all. Like, the stories I could tell y'all about where I thought I was going to end up just for a miracle to come through, Okay, the stories. So yes, I feel like something that you all have had to get past also within your life, and that have really opened you up to becoming much more warm and much more caring, much more generous, much more willing to give to others. It's just the fact that even within yourself, there could have been some unrest. Okay. There could have been some unrest. I feel like it's the feeling of like knowing who you are, but feeling like your life circumstance doesn't really allow you to live through your best self. It doesn't really allow you to live how you truly want to live, or you're not really at peace because you're not where you want to be, or you don't have what you want to have, like to really feel to be at your best self. So I'm kind of getting that message as well too, which I feel like a lot of y'all have just had to, through life circumstance and just life happening, you've had to put yourself into a place of patience, and you've had to just give. Or it could have been that you all could have been experiencing some drama with some people. Like it could be relationships, it could be family, it could be at your job, but just, it could be conflicting thoughts and ideas within yourself, but it could also very much well be people, circumstances, relationships, situationships, in which you we're not on the same page with these things. It's a lot to not be on the same page with yourself. It's a lot of work that has to happen there. But when you're not on the same page with other people, all you got to do is make a couple adjustments and fine tune some things, so you're essentially putting yourself first. So it's not to say that you just be aimlessly giving to people, but I feel like you're giving from a place of power, from a place of empowerment. So I do feel like you might have been dealing with that as well, or you could be dealing with that. Just some drama, like some fighting, arguing. It doesn't have to be physically fighting, but it can be. Okay. Some arguing, some conflicting thoughts, maybe fighting with yourself. And I would definitely say that it's important to give yourself love in those times. Maybe you have to put love into the situation with the other person. Maybe you have to decide that, you know what, I'm not gonna fight anymore. Try to say, I'm not gonna fight anymore. So it may require you to just put yourself in a place of action by just giving love to yourself, or giving love to the situation and circumstance. If it's with another person, it's not saying that now you got to go back and be buddy buddy with this person if they did you wrong, if they betrayed you, if they fought you, if they argue with you, if they've had some type of conflicting idea with you that's very major to you and to what you're doing and to who you are. It doesn't say that, you got to go back and just, oh, let's just forget it and keep moving, because some people will take advantage of your kind-hearted nature. I'm just keeping it a buck. But it is saying that for your own sake, you can put love into the situation. So what does that look like for you? That might have to be forgiveness. Okay. It might also have to be loving people from a distance, knowing that, you know what, I forgive you. I don't wish harm on you. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but you just cannot be in my life. And that's okay. So also being able to put yourself first. That's not you being selfish. That's you establishing your boundaries for yourself. And when you establish boundaries, that puts you in an empowered position. That puts you in an empowered position. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you all, it like when it comes down to the supernatural and stuff, when it comes down to that, um it's really about learning and unlearning, and well, unlearning and then learning. So it's going to be up to you to have to unlearn these things that you may have been told, or to, of course, adopt new ideas. And within you adopting those new ideas, you have to stand firm in the knowledge that you know. So if you're that type of person that really likes to know what this is, you really have to research. You must look up the ins and outs. Like, you have to know this before you can decide this. Then do the research that you need. Don't hold yourself back a fear of, just because you may not be aware of how the universe works, or different spiritual laws, or different things like that. Like, don't hold yourself back because you feel like, oh my gosh, it's so much vast energy, it's so much knowledge, how am I ever going to get through this? Take it a step by step. Okay. Even within my own journey, I can tell you, I don't know everything there is to know about spirituality. I'm going to school soon. I'm going to Hogwarts very soon. So I have even more better idea, but understanding that these things happen in steps. Life happens in steps. Healing happens in steps. Acquiring knowledge and intellect happens in steps. Okay. When you was in school, they didn't teach you everything that you needed to know from kindergarten to the 12th grade in your kindergarten year. They didn't teach you what you needed to know in the 9th grade when you was in the 2nd grade. They didn't do that. They took things in steps because they know how the human mind works. They know how we work. They know where people, man, like they just know. They've known, and they set up that system to, and really to accommodate people at every age of their development. So just understanding that, take it a step at a time, and of the knowledge that you do acquire, that you do understand, stand firm in that thing and live your life practically based off of the information that you learn. That's the thing I just got. Live practically based off of the information that you learned. So don't feel like you have to be this whole spiritual guru right now. That's where people get caught up, because they start talking about things that they have no absolute knowledge about. You're leading people down the wrong path if you don't have this knowledge. So take it in bits and pieces and chunks. Learn things here. Learn about chakras if you want to. Get into human design if you want to. Get into astrology if you want to. Take it in steps. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with so much information as far as like learning how the universe works. And find your passion, and find what you really feel called and attracted to. There's people that focus on Reiki, and there's people that focus on astrology. There's people that focus on tarot reading. There's people that focus on crystals and have a vast, immense, knowledge of crystals. So find what works well for you. Find what you feel the most attracted to, and just go from there. Yeah, so a lot of you all, I feel like, because of your life and the fact that you've been waiting so long, you've been waiting so long to see the fruits of your harvest. It just lets me know that within that waiting, you've been doing a lot. Okay, you've been doing a lot within that waiting. It's not to say like you just aimlessly around twiddling your fingers. Like, you've been working. You've had responsibilities. You've had tasks. There's things that you had to show up for. Okay. If you have kids, you got to show up for your kids. If you have work responsibilities, you're showing up for that. If you have a partner, you're showing up for your responsibilities. So you could be carrying a lot right now at this point in time. I feel like, the universe just wants you to understand that even though you have been carrying these things, that not only can it be tough and challenging, but it's also giving you a strength. It's giving you it's like you're stretching your spiritual muscles. It's giving you just the courage and the bravery to continue to keep persistent even when you don't see things changing. And that takes real courage, because a lot of people quit when they don't see something changing or moving in the way in which they want it to go. They quit. Okay, they don't give things time. I can definitely say that though things have been challenging, though things have been tough, you've been carrying a lot of things. That is building up the certain type of strength, bravery, courage within you, in which you just can't quit. Like, you just cannot quit. You can't quit. So I wanted to get into the hip-hop queens. Because if not, I'm going to continue to keep pulling tarot cards. So let's get into the hip-hop queens. Let's see the energy that spirit would like you to continue to keep fostering within your life. Generally, then your general energy update. And we have skill. That's so funny, because I had saw this card earlier for another reading, but it ended up coming out. So we have skill, and that's definitely something that you could not take away from this individual listed on this card. Just because of her own abilities. So even within while you're waiting, the best thing for you to do is to continue to keep honing your craft. Whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're personally mentoring someone, open yourself up to some new messages so you can give them that energy, so you can recycle that energy, give it to them so they get some nuggets, and then they can pass it on to someone else. So with whatever it is that you're doing in this period of patience. You could be contemplating some things. You could be thinking a lot. Okay. Your mind could be going. But within this period of patience, within you waiting to, see the full, to reap the full harvest of what you've been working on within this time, within this waiting period, is going to be important for you to focus on your skill and focus on your craft and just making it even better. If you're a parent, figure out one thing that you can do a day to be an even better parent. That's called the razor's edge. Doing one extra thing, going one extra mile. Okay. So if you're an entrepreneur, and you make a certain product, make one extra product. If you have clients, call one extra client, do one extra thing to stretch yourself. Because right now you could be going through conditioning with your patients, with you putting that work in and maybe not seeing a result. Unbeknownst to you, you're going through a spiritual conditioning. So it's going to be important for you to utilize your skills, to build on your skills, to get better at whatever it is that you do. Whatever it is that you do. You want to be a better romantic partner. Figure out one extra thing that you could do to be a better romantic partner to your partner. What's one extra thing that you could do? Maybe it's learning the love languages and applying those love languages practically into your relationship, to make your relationship better. So what can you do with this time that you have? You should be working on your skills. And then we also have Yo-Yo with defiance. So as far as when it comes down to defiance, I really feel like it's even going to have to be saying no to maybe who you used to be, because oftentimes, like in life, it's so easy to regress back to who you used to be. So you maybe have to get so good with who you are now, and be so secure with who you are now that it's completely impossible for you to return to who you want to be, because it's so who you used to be rather, because it's so tempting. It's so tempting. And then also with miracles, and just with understanding how the universe works, that within itself, becoming even more spiritual, is a complete defiance against society, because society does not necessarily want people to be in touch with spirituality and to be in touch with these higher faculties that they have actually been benefiting on to build this country. They've been benefiting on those same things to build society, to build culture. So why can't you do that within yourself? Don't remain a sheep. Okay, a sheeple. Don't remain being a sheeple if you are one. Don't continue to keep, don't keep the blinders on. You got to stretch, you got to expand, and you're conditioning right now. So it's really going to be up to you to have to put yourself in a position and where you're, exposing yourself to, not to say bad things, but you're exposing yourself to a different way of doing things, a different way of living life. Because living life, putting your spirituality first is going to be a different way, because most people don't live like this. Most people don't live like this. Most people still shun tarot readings and crystals and all of that stuff and chakras, and like they don't want to listen. But it is what it is. Your only job is for you to, delve deep into your studies, because understand that while you're doing this, you're literally defying maybe any generational curses that you don't want to fall into, whether that be poverty, whether that be alcoholism, substance use. Like, you're essentially going against the system in a sense. So whatever that looks like for your mind, if there are any conflicting thoughts or people or situations that might be not on the same page with you, it's probably going to be important for you to defy those people as well. They might take it as disrespect, but you got mad stuff going on that you're doing, and you being able to do that, not really care about what people say, is gonna really give you a certain type of strength. You're gonna need that moving forward, because it's always gonna be somebody saying something. There's always gonna be somebody saying something. So let me go ahead and give y'all some Moonology cards. I feel like I took out 2 for the last one. This one was jumping. Communication is key. Communication is key. So it might be important for you, like if you're wanting to study more and get even more into spirituality, if you feel even more of a calling, it definitely will help for you to just open up and speak what it is that you want, even within your own life. even within these things that you're waiting on. I'm so happy and grateful that I am a multimillionaire. I'm making multi-millions every year. Like, I'm so happy and grateful that I have a beautiful, loving family. My family loves me and we are well taken care of. I'm so happy and grateful. So it's going to have to come down to, even though you're waiting on things, speak these things into existence right now. Speak those things like they're here right now. Okay? Give those things a home. Okay? You know how you get older and you just want to lay your head somewhere? It's like, I just want a place to rest. Okay? Understand that what you want just wants a place to rest. Now, is it going to rest with you? And how is it going to rest with you? Because you got to call it. You got to call it in. Okay? So communication is definitely going to be a major thing for you. It definitely is. Let's get you another card. Sorry, y'all. This one came out. All right. This is amazing. We have the end of a tough cycle approaches. That's amazing. That's just confirming that, look, if you've been in a intense season of sewing, you constantly working, you don't see no results, it's just letting you know that this challenge is going to come to an end. A lot of you all have been carrying a lot of responsibilities, tasks. You've had so many duties. It's probably made you very tired. Okay, it's made you very tired. You could have been dealing with some hardships with people, even within yourself. And I just want to let you know, like, it's coming to an end. Like, just understand that you're not gonna have to put up with this too much longer. I feel like you would have, went through your conditioning. You would have understand the meaning of true patience and waiting on the universe to do what it has to do. And I feel like the miracles that are really going to be stepping into your life, that you're really going to be experiencing, are going to really address those major things that there really was no resolution to at a specific point in time. That miracle is really going to come through for you and put you even in a better place, in a better position of power, by providing what you need for your stability. So that could be finances, that could be home, the family. But yeah, for some reason I kind of got more so like finances. That's kind of what came out more so than anything, but it is what it is. All I'll say is while you're in this period of waiting, focus on your skills, come up with plans, plan to do things. Don't just sit there, twiddle your thumbs, put yourself in a place of action, and also put yourself into a state of creativity, and be willing to give, because the more you give, the more you get. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this read, and I will see y'all in the next one. If you are in the Philly, New Jersey, Delaware area, I'm going to be reading tarot at the end of this month in Lansdowne, PA. It's right outside of Philly. If you would like more information, make sure that you go ahead and follow me on Instagram at SpicyBeeSoup and wait for that announcement post, which I'll be dropping towards the end of this week. Definitely come see me in person, get read in person, and yeah, have a good time shopping other vendors as well. So I will see y'all in the next one. Have a blessed day. All right, fam, we are on pile 3. Last but not least, are y'all still rocking with me today? Today is a nice day. I'm feeling blessed. I'm really, excited and ready to do a reading for y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Randomly, I'm not sure if you all know this song by Beyonce called Kitty Cat, but before I started your pile, that song kind of just popped up in my head. So I don't know if it means something to somebody, but hey, it is what it is. It was random. So I'm using the Goddess deck to get some initial messages. Ooh, you all are becoming more connected to your earth, to your environment, to your surroundings. So what is this about? Have you all finally moved into the house of your dreams? Have you, established yourself the way in which you always wanted to be? Are you focused on creation? What is it? It seems like you all are really living in some type of divine energy right now. It's so divine, but it's so grounded. It's like your heart, why I get heart chakra? I think I said heart chakra because of this green here. but it seems like you're just grounded. It's like you're living, you're grounded, you're focused on the mundane. You're understanding your environment, your energy is cultivating just the right energy within you based off of your environment is important. But it's like y'all are also so esoteric. Like you're so grateful. It's like y'all are really living in a state of gratitude right now. If you feel like you're not living that right now, just understand that energy is coming for you. But there's just a state of gratitude where it's like you're just so grateful for spirit. You're so grateful for the universe. You're so grateful for the divinity that lives within you. And I think it took you some time to get here. I see that you've had to make some changes. Like you chose to be grateful. And I think because you chose to be grateful, it's just it's putting you in a different position. I also feel like you all are communicating how grateful you are. You know what I'm trying to say? You're communicating how grateful you are. So people can see it in your face. So I don't know if you're a leader, if you're a public speaker, someone that just, you might have a platform on YouTube as well. You know what I'm trying to say? Someone who just kind of speaks and speaks. And let me see. And I feel like you're just proud. I feel like you're so proud of where you're at right now. Because it's just the perfect balance of I'm still esoteric, I'm in the spiritual realm, but I'm also understanding that I'm having a physical experience as well. So you honor both experiences. Like you honor the fact that you're a spiritual being, but you also honor the fact that you're a human and you're in the physical 3D world as well. There's just a certain type of divinity that's really coming off of who you are. It's given like an empress, like a really strong empress energy, really strong divine feminine energy, really strong creation, transformation, flight. It's like it's put you in it's made you an eagle in a sense to where you're just living from a more higher perspective. So you could very much well be in line with your higher self or getting there very strongly. This is a very strong divine pile. Not to say that the other piles weren't strong or divine either, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the energy that I'm getting here. It's just very divine. It's very spiritual. I don't know what it is that you're doing, okay? I don't know what it is that you're doing, but you're definitely getting more into you're getting more into with your higher self, and you've made these changes. You chose spirit. Spirit chose you. You chose spirit and spirit chose you. So here we go with the death card. So with transformation, it really has required you to having to open your mind to clear out things that were no longer serving you anymore, to clear out the cobwebs in a sense. It's like you did an overhaul. It happened in your mind. Think about when someone has to go clean out the attic or something. It's like they don't want to do it because they know it's dusty. It's cobwebs. It could be pests up there. It could be stuff all over the place. But it's like you went into the depths of your mind and was like, no, I need to clear this out. So whatever that is for you, it could be past traumas. It could be past experiences that may have told you certain things about yourself that was not true. Very reminiscent of pile one. It could be just behaviors, habitual behaviors, ways of being, whatever it is. You've experienced a transformation and you've allowed yourself to go to that place, to go to those depths of those places and to really clean it out. So the amazing thing about the death card is whenever something goes away, it always leaves room, energy, and space for something better to replace it, So maybe it was a sacrifice that you had to make. Maybe you was tired of not being happy, because I see that you all are just more in a place of happiness or gratitude for your current situation, whatever that looks like for you. Yes. Y'all had to, if this was I'm sorry, y'all. Your girl, it's a lot of energy right now. If this was whatever it was that was tying you down, this could be yourself. This could be codependency. This could be addictions that you might have had. This could be, it's when I say codependency, maybe even codependency with certain relationships. It could be family relationships, friendships, actual intimate relationship as well. It seems like if it was an intimate relationship, it could have been very hot and heavy, and very hot and heavy, but the energy could have been misguided. The energy's not going anywhere. It's just staying here. And it, at a certain point in time, it kind of bound you to having to do things in a particular way, even with a particular person, just because the passion was there, just because the energy was there. You know what I'm trying to say? Or even if it was an addiction or something, it's like there was a rush there. There was a feeling that you felt there. But at a certain point in time, that feeling, it in a sense, it chained you to that thing that you were doing. You might have felt like you weren't going to get this feeling anywhere else. So you chained yourself, you bound yourself to that thing. It's like, you know what a yoke is? A yoke, like, the thing that kind of holds the horses together, like their heads. That's why I personally don't say I want somebody that's equally yoked, because that's like bondage. It's bound. You know what I'm trying to say? It's bound. So it's like, in a way, you had to break that thing, because whatever it was that was giving you a rush was actually really holding you down. It wasn't really good for you in the end. And that's really how the devil energy is. It's going to give you so much, and you're going to be so obsessed with that thing. It's going to give you so much, but your obsession really takes a turn for the worse, because now you're bound to that thing. It might make you feel so good in the moment, but then afterwards you just don't feel good about yourself. A lot of you all had to break yourself from a lot of chains. You've had to break yourself. This is a work that you've had to do. You had to make the choice to do this. It wasn't making you happy. You had to make the choice to transform. It was really up to you. And so a lot of you all are just feeling the release. Okay? Release. That's the word that came to mind. You're feeling the release of these things. Your happiness, your gratefulness, you being more with spirit has released you from these things. It's not to say that you might not enjoy the things that you was doing. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not to say that the energy isn't there, that there wasn't some type of rush there. And I'm not talking about substance abuse or, alcoholism or any of that anymore. It could have just been you being chained to a job, you being chained to a certain relationship, you keeping yourself in a certain place within your life. Like at a certain point in time, it did not feel good to you anymore to know that you was keeping yourself there. It was blocking your own transformation. You, through a change of vibration, I'm trying to say, through a change of, actually getting happier, maybe even, spending time in spirit. So that's through prayer, because you're giving reverence, you're giving thanks. Like that could be through prayer. You're giving your time, you're giving your energy. This could be through even, just different spiritual things. Like, people use different things like to really help them feel more and closer in tune, in touch with spirit. I like to use tarot readings. That allows me to channel things from spirit. I like to do that. You know what I'm trying to say? Even doing tarot readings for myself. So essentially, you've had to change your vibration. You've had to do different things. And I really feel like that really ushered in this transformation where even without you even knowing, you could have leveled up your life, and without you even knowing, that broke off, those chains of attachment that you've had to things that were holding you back. So let's see what's going on here. It took you some time. I think that you may have been very attached to things that, did not serve you. And it's funny because the 7 of Wands came up in every single pile. So that's a big thing for this reading. Like, protect, like defend, protect, like protect, stand up. You know what I'm trying to say? Stand up. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm so unsure about things. It's like, no, stand up. Like, your life is in your hands. Like, are you going to protect your life or not? And I really feel like at a certain point in time, you weren't really, this process wasn't the easiest process. Okay. This process of your transformation could have been, for lack of better terms, ugly. It could have been, for lack of better terms, ratchet. It could have been, for lack of better terms, ghetto AF. Like, when I mean ghetto AF, I'm talking about it's messy. It's messy. It's all over the place. It makes no coherent logic or sense. You don't have the space. You don't have the time. Like, it's too much. So it could have been that this process wasn't really good to you. It wasn't really good to you. You might have had to, be forceful. Stop messing around with the same people. Stop hanging around with the same people. Stop accepting the same types of people into your life. Stop accepting the same type of situations and circumstances into your life. In a sense, it's forced you to have to be in a more empowered position. You started putting yourself first and you had to protect yourself. It started putting you in a more empowered position to really bring into this lifetime what you needed to bring, into this lifetime unaffected, unharmed, unscathed. So you had to put yourself through the fire. You put yourself through the fire, and it was not easy. It was not a comfortable situation, but I do believe that it was something that had to be done. The change that you've exhibited is something that's had to be done. Yeah, it's something that's had to be done. I feel like it's taking you, like, with this step that you've taken to make these changes in your life, to eliminate things out of your life, to unattach yourself from things out of your life that don't really, serve you or make you happy. I really feel like not only is it leading you to something better, definitely something better with this 10 of Pentacles. Like, not only is it leading you to something better, this could be changing your whole home life and stability, even your finances. Not only is it leading you to something better, but I really feel like it's going to right those wrongs in the past as well. You know what I'm trying to say? So I wouldn't get too, I feel like you're not too hard on yourself. I feel like you understand that, life is about changes and transitions. That's why I feel like you were up for the challenge of transforming your life, of releasing things from your life that no longer serve you. I think that you were doing yourself a disservice at a certain point in time to keep yourself in certain places. I feel like now that you've released these things, you're going to receive what was yours to begin with because you put yourself in a position of being able to receive. You've cleared these things out of your life. Oftentimes, we don't understand that, we got to get rid of certain things and people and circumstances so we can position ourselves in the best way to get what it is that is ours. How many people are not receiving what is fully theirs because they don't have the strength to walk away from a job? They don't have the strength to leave a toxic relationship. They don't have the strength to, leave a family structure that may be really toxic and abusive so they can go off and live independence in peace and harmony and balance. How many people are afraid to do these things because they don't understand what's on the other side? Okay? With you, I feel like the reason why you decided to change was because you understood that you were doing yourself a disservice by keeping yourself in the same place. You were not sure what was on the other side, because we never know what's on the other side. You were not sure what was on the other side, but being confirmed right here, there's greatness on the other side for you. There's legacy on the other side for you. There's generational wealth on the other side for you. If you came from a family that was also always toxic, everybody fighting each other, everybody abusive, it's not working. If you had relationships that were like that, if you were doing things that just did not make you feel good within yourself, they were not in harmony with your inner, what do I want to say? It wasn't in harmony with your spirit. With the inner you, it was not in harmony. Like, it just was not in harmony. Like, it's just for you to understand that you're releasing these things to be more in alignment with things that are in harmony with who you are. And like I'm saying, you did some vibrational switch real fast. Like, you made that change. Yeah, I'm just saying, it could have took you some time, but you really did make a change. Like, and it was a tough change, and it was not pretty. It was not a pretty change. Like, your healing process was not pretty. Like, it could have been ratchet, it could have been ghetto, it could have been messy. Like, your healing process could have been all over the place, but at the end of the day, what's on the other side for you is just so much more greater. It's your reward for a job well done. It's your reward for a job well done. So let's see what else we have. It's your reward for a job well done. Yeah. So something that I feel like that you've learned, through your transformation, or just through you being where you are or getting to where you will be at, is that it's okay to let things go. It's okay to let things go. Like, it's okay for things to end. Everything is going to be just fine. You don't have to keep yourself in places that are not in accordance with how you really feel and who you really think you are. Like, it's okay to do that, because like I said, you would be doing an injustice to yourself. And things have and I feel like, well, I already said that things have ended for you, especially with the death card, because obviously you've made some changes, you've released some things, but it's okay. Like, I think that's something that you're also learning is, like, oftentimes you might have held on to things for too long to your own detriment. You might have held on way past their expiration date. Okay, you know you should have left that job 3 months ago. You knew you should have broke up with that person 6 months ago. Okay. Okay, because I feel that. That's why I'm telling y'all this. It's like you knew you should have released these things a long time ago, but everything happens in its due season. Everything happens when it needs to happen. And it's just gonna further, things are just gonna further click into place for you. You know what I'm trying to say? Everything happens when it does. But I feel like you all have stayed too long, and that's something that you had to get real with yourself. That's a part of the groundedness. It's like you're not going to be all in your imagination and la la land. You had to bring it down. Okay. I'm not sure if y'all have seen Yama Fix My Life, when she put that man head in the grass and she put his head in the dirt, and like she just shoved his yo, she really shoved that man head in the dirt. I wouldn't say shove, that's an aggressive word, but nah, she really did that. She really did that. She put that man head in the dirt. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just after this video, just go look up Yanla Fix My Life puts man's head in the dirt. And I believe that she really did that was so that he could be more grounded and stop playing with stuff. Like, to see things as it is. Like, that's really how the ground is. It's a strong foundation. And it's like, it's nothing else past that. You know what I'm trying to say? There's nothing else in past that. I mean, yeah, it is if you want to get into scientific terms of, you know, digging into the earth, but I'm just saying, for us right now, like us, is nothing else past that. That's the foundation. And I really feel it's like you all were really forced to have to get real, get down, really get into your, you know, your root chakra to understand if, like, the things that you were doing, was it truly making you stable? The things that you were doing in your past, or if you still have to release some things, is it truly making you feel good? Is it making you feel sustained? Is it really doing what you think it's doing? That's why I feel like you all have had to detach yourself from things that might have made you feel temporarily good or superficially good, but at the end of the day, it was not really making you feel great. You know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't really making you feel great. It wasn't making you feel at peace and at harmony. So I feel like you're understanding that it's okay to let things go, and it may be okay to let things go at their expiration date, as opposed to feeling like you have to hold on to things past their expiration date. But yeah, I can definitely say that, I feel like at times it's tough to want to deal with. It's tough. Like what I said, like healing is not pretty. Like, it's tough to want to deal with. You may be at, a conflict, not really knowing in what direction to go in. I feel like as long as you protect your peace, protect what makes you feel good, as long as you, even if it's hardship, like you're focusing on you. You're focusing on what makes you happy. You're focusing and having faith in things that you believe to be true for yourself, or things that you're hoping for, that you're wishing for. As long as you stay focused on that, it's always gonna shine. It's always gonna be a light that shines through that darkness. You know what I'm trying to say? There's moments in where we can be feeling dark when it comes to our healing. Like I said, healing is not, that thing is ghetto. Like, it's not always linear either. We may have to start back at one. You know, I'm trying to say, we were working our way up. We were doing so well. Then something happened. But when that thing happens, that trigger happens, it happens for you to bring that thing up to the surface, for you to deal with it right then and there. Sometimes we may not want to do that. Sometimes we're confused about how to go about this. Sometimes we have issues with, our mental clarity and thinking and figuring out what it is that we want to do. But I believe, like, just this person that's down here that's walking through this door, that when you really get deep down into your, your root chakra and stability, like, and just asking yourself those questions, like, do I feel safe? Do I feel stable? Do I feel at peace? And it's like, if you don't, then it's really going to be up to you to continue that energy of now you got to make space, like in this 7 of inspiration card, the 7 of wands. Now you have to make space. Now you have to clear out the clutter to open it up to just, you know, the peace, the harmony, the balance, what it is that you do want. It's like a new dawn. It's like a new horizon. And the same thing that I'm seeing here with this card, it's like a new dawn. It's like a new horizon. So it's really going to be up to you to get real with yourself, or you probably have been getting real with yourself, and surrounding yourself with what makes you happy, or going after things, or being in places, cultivating the type of home environment, being in the types of relationships, distancing yourself from people that maybe don't make you happy. So it's really going to be up to you to clear that space, you know. And when you create space, 9 times out of 10, when you sacrifice things, 9 times out of 10, it's like you always going to get something better in return. So it might just be important for you to do so. Let's get you some hip hop queens. Let's see the energy that spirit would like you to continue to keep fostering. I'm definitely enjoying this reading. I hope y'all find some, you know, powerful information and knowledge that you could use. Like, let's see what we got. We have the Us Girls with guidance. I think they were before my time, but when it comes down to guidance, that's something that I was kind of feeling. You all have a very strong connection with the universe anyway. It's very strong. So, you know, just continue to keep asking the universe for guidance. Continue to keep depending on the universe. It seems like you have, you know, through this time of, you know, not being sure of how things are going to turn out, you just taking the steps, you just doing what's right for you. It's even listening to your own inner guidance as well, listening to your higher self and just acting upon it, even when you don't know, even when things don't seem fair, even when things don't seem settled, even when things are hard, even when, like I said, you don't know, even when you know, tend to hold on to things longer than what they need to be, than longer than, you know, than what it needs to be held on to. Even when you don't release things when you need to release them, you just have to continue listening to yourself, and listening to that internal guidance within you, that inner guidance and wisdom within you, so that you can really truly, you know, get to where you want to get. And guidance will be nice as well whenever you're feeling confused, in moments of darkness, in moments of not being sure, in moments where you might have a, you know, difficult time seeing a situation for what it is. That's probably why you tend to keep things in your life, you know, past their expiration date, is because maybe you didn't want to see how things are. Maybe you had on blinders. You know what I'm trying to say? It is what it is. It happens to the best of us. But now that you know, all you can do is act off of the information that you now know. You can't get mad at what you did not know. That's not fair to yourself. And then we also have Vision with Left Eye and TLC. And she was a part of TLC. But yeah, Left Eye, she went through this type of transformation as well, which towards the end of her life, she was, you know, very spiritual and more so in tune with herself as well. So it just, to me, it just shows me, you know, this the transformation that you all had to go through, and it wasn't pretty. You know, Left Eye did many things. Okay, she acted in many ways that, you know, maybe her higher self would not be 100% proud of. But the one thing I can say is that, you know, towards the end of her life, it really seemed like she was picking things back up, and she got on one accord with herself, regardless of how she knew that if things were going to turn out, because, you know, her life ended, regardless of what it was. But I think that time was time that she needed to really be at peace within herself, to really be within balance within herself, to really, you know, cut through the trauma, the abuse, the things that she dealt with, the poverty, you know, just the lack of financial resources, and just a lot of the things that she really dealt with. You know, the authority within her home, like, you know, I'm trying to say the authoritative figure, and her really just being like, you know what, like, there's so many things that's going against me right now, but I'm gonna shine a light and cut through this darkness. And she very well became a star. So it's just understanding that you have the possibility to do the same thing for you. So here we have the Moonology deck. We're gonna get y'all 2 cards from the Moonology deck. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this reading. And then it'll be time to eat some lunch. All right, so this card wanted to come out. We have don't let pride get in your way. Don't let pride get in your way. I feel like this comes down to maybe you holding on to things past their expiration date, or maybe feeling like at a certain point in time, feeling like you kind of knew it all in a sense, or maybe not giving yourself the chance to truly experience this process for what it is. And it's okay. Like, it's okay if there's moments in where you feel disappointed. You're disappointed. If it's moments in which you feel disheartened, you're disheartened. You're allowed to have human emotions. Like, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to experience the kerfuffles. I don't know why that word came to mind. The mistakes, the faux pas that occur in life when you're living life. You're allowed to experience those things, and it has nothing to do with your ego. It's just life, and you can learn from those experiences, become smarter and wiser, and make better decisions. So it's okay. Whatever you experience, whatever you attach yourself to, like, it's okay. Like, it's all right. It just comes within your ability to pick things back up, to get things back on track. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We all don't have the power to release certain things from our life at certain points in time. But if it's within your destiny for you to reach your wish fulfillment, if it's that's within your destiny, it's gonna be removed now or later. You know what I'm trying to say? Now or later. Then we have a new romantic cycle begins. So, hey, maybe this reading really, touched you as far as within romance and intimacy. And, maybe that was one of the things that, was done unfairly to you. Maybe you were promised a relationship, or you thought that you was going to have, a 10 of Pentacles, build a legacy, have generational wealth, and have a nice, stable, happy family with a certain person that you were attached to. Maybe that relationship didn't necessarily work out. So for any of y'all who are looking for, a new start to a new relationship, just understand that, that is coming for you, and is definitely going to right all of the wrongs that you've experienced in your past. So let's get you, I want to get you one more card. You're very close to achieving your goal. You're very close to achieving your goal. So whatever it is that you're working on, whatever that is to you, this is just a confirmation for you that you're very close to achieving what it is that you set your eyes upon, your gaze upon. Whatever you set your sights on, that goal is very much going to be achieved. Whether that's this 10 of Pentacles right here, that's that money, that's that legacy. If that's something that you really want, regardless of where you at right now in life, it's possible for you, but that's up to you. With that being said, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this reading. This is your girl, the one and the only Spicy. If you live in the Philly, Delaware, or even the New Jersey area, I will be in Lansdowne at a pop-up shop, and I will be reading tarot live. So you can definitely come through, meet me live, come get your tarot reading live with all the energy, all the hand movements, and the nails. I'm putting my nails on specifically for that event. So make sure you stay tuned to my Instagram at SpicyBSoup. You can follow me there. The information is in the description box. And look out for that upcoming post that will be dropping towards the end of this week, giving you all the details as far as the time and the location. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you another time.